Hello everyone, and we are live. Welcome to the Solus Help Center live stream where I'll be working on said Help Center, which is going to be the new center for reading articles and documentation regarding Solus. So what you see in front of you, and let me go ahead and zoom in on that one. This is just a mock-up and Inkscape of what it will most likely look like. And as you may or may not have known, all the wiki content has been moved over to GitHub and has been converted to Markdown, which was a royal pain in the ass. But it's done. So if you go over to github.com/solus-project/help center docs with hyphens between all that, you could get that GitHub documentation. Let me go ahead and switch over to that stream, well, that scene. So I am on Discord if you want to chit chat. There is a temporary link that will grant you temporary membership. It's valid probably until the end of the stream, so. But if I'm a bit out of the loop, forgive me. I'm still having my quote-unquote morning coffee at 6 p.m., so bear with me. It's going to be a challenge, to say the least. If you want to chat, you could do so on the YouTube chat. Hey, Luke. All right. I also want to bring to your attention that at 7 p.m. UTC/GMT, if you are interested in helping test Flatpak and the OpenGL work around Flatpak, and assist that project, you're welcome to join #solus-dev. It's especially welcome if you have an NVIDIA 304, if you're using any of the proprietary NVIDIA drivers, and if you are willing to test on unstable repo. And also, there is already documentation up. I actually did some early testing because I'm impatient. And if you hear my wife in the background occasionally, it's because she is streaming. I can't fix the sound isolation stuff in here yet until I actually get somebody to do some padding and stuff, so let me know if you could hear. I suppose I probably don't need Liferia open. As you might have noticed, I'm actually also testing GNOME Shell, because it's actually been a while since I've tried out GNOME Shell and the experience, and I'm really missing the expose/window spread stuff, so, and of course working on tab. Now, that being said, it will be resolved in 10.3 because you should probably make a voice channel that everyone but you would be muted. I don't think that's possible in Discord. I mean, if someone comes in and starts, the entire point of me having that Discord thing open is so they can join in and chat. And of course, if they're being spammy, then I just kick them and ban them. So that's really the end of that. But let's see. Let's open it up. Right. Let's get started. So something I noticed immediately, which is funny, is under Budgie, the Visual Studio Code actually has the appropriate icon. But under GNOME Shell, they're less competent, so it shows up as this, as like an incorrect icon thingamajig, which I find sort of amusing. But anyway. All right, where do we get started? Suppose let's take a look at, let's move that over there. So this is what it currently looks like. It's a bit of a rough state, I know. Basically, we just have this, the banner content. Remember how I do things with development is I get the structure laid out first, and then I implement the styling. So I sort of have a static thing to target against. So we need to do that, and we need to implement the in the page template, well, page partial, actually. So let's go to that. So we actually have a page partial here, and what you have here is it uses the banner partial. Now what the banner partial does is it takes the site data we pass and just uses the base URL to add the help center and like the categories and contact links. And the contact link, which that'll go to a dedicated page similar to the getting involved documentation, except it just has information solely for getting in touch with us. So IRC, Google Plus community, forums. I don't think it has our Twitter, but could probably add that if I want to. Right, so it also has the help center headers, and then it has this text box, and presumably what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to type a query and it'll do a search based on that text for relevant information in all the articles. So the Go base backend that I'll be writing for that, I'll be doing off stream. So, just keep that one in mind. But I imagine today and tomorrow will be dedicated to actually the styling of everything, and then I'll be implementing the backend stuff, and then I'll be rolling this stuff out. So let's go ahead and get started on the page. So if you reference our mockup, let me take a sip of coffee. You see here that basically we just have a recursion over a list here of popular categories. Now, I don't believe, wow, it's actually way faster for me to use the window overlay thingy. So let's go to data, help center, and categories. So we have all the categories listed here, not just the quote unquote popular ones, which for the record, it's the popular categories are ones that I've manually listed, and you'll be able to see that as I work on this. And actually what I'll do is I'll increase the font size so you'll actually be able to see all that damn code. So let's go to settings. I mean, 16 is huge, but whatever. Should be easier to see anyways for people watching it on mobile devices, for instance. I noticed you have a local web server running for testing. Is it Apache? No. The web server is actually just Hugo. So here, let me pull it up. So basically, Hugo runs its own server, which is really easy to do with Go to begin with. And what you do is I just type make local. I have it as a make recipe. But that runs Hugo server base URL, and that what it does is it replaces with the base URL the actual Solus project stuff with the local address. It watches for changes. It doesn't be verbose about things and ignores our cache. So that way I don't ever have to run against that. So although knowing apparently it will cache API requests. So had I not been really retarded, I would have been able to just said, okay, let's remove the ignore cache flag, and it would have cached all those API requests that I was doing in the Budgie development, well, the Budgie website development, when it was getting the version. But I suppose it's probably better off that it's just a static thing. So just letting the wife know that I'm streaming too. Anyways, so what we need is we need a popular .yaml. And actually, so going back to that, as you'll be able to see, it's just going to be a static list that we'll be doing recursion over. There's not going to be any analytics involved in this, so it's not like when you do a click on an article, it's somehow going to populate like page weight and the popularity of a category or something. Let's just go ahead and copy this. And then we have budgie, common, config, contributing, installing, and game. Do we have hardware? No. Let's actually move this over to that side. So we don't have software. Installing and then go. Actually, that is sometimes gonna bug me. Well, actually, in the mockup, it's wrong. I put I before G. That's not how the alphabet works. So 6 and then 6. Okay. Well, I can't see shit. It's buffering constantly, even on 480p. Yeah, well, sorry, KRZ, I can't really fix that. Because actually, this is interesting. So, if anyone heard me bitch during the Hackfest that we did recently, YouTube was complaining about like some keyframe bullshit. And I configured everything properly against that, and it was still bitching. Well, I have the exact same configuration as I did before, right? But on mine, like on my event, it's not complaining at all. It says the stream health is good. So, well, stream status is good, and says the health is good after that. But I don't know, that I guess that really goes to show how fucking unreliable YouTube is. It's ridiculous. Like the fact I had to create a new event so we could actually start streaming. And then like someone was like, oh, well, something about Pure Garden and Tor. It's like, it has nothing to do with that. I don't think you understand what's going on here. It's like people that fundamentally don't understand two different pieces of technology and they just throw words out, you know? Anyways, so what we're probably going to do is have a categories partial. And what this categories partial will do is it'll take an array. So that array will consist of, well, actually, is it gonna? Well, it might actually be a map. Yeah, a map of categories seems more logical. So the reason for that, the reason why we're implementing as basically us doing a recursion over a map, right, is if we go here, you see we have these popular categories, but under the categories view itself, it's going to list all of them. So rather than having duplicate, like recursion and duplicate code, we're going to just have a partial and then pass a list and then pass our data. Actually, I think we'll just pass dot, but anyways, let's go ahead and do, probably we're going to have categories as just the, and then we're going to have data Do we actually need to pass data? Because we're already, no. So I'm talking about the whole morning crap is, we're already passing the data as the categories. So like that map, why would we need to have it a third time? Well, a second time. Right, well, so what we're gonna do is we're probably going to have a grid or a flow or flexbox. I'm not sure which one yet. Probably a flexbox, given even Firefox finally got around to adding CSS3 grid, like proper unvendored support. Firefox. So I'm not actually sure if we're going to have this in our like sole bit centered view. I think we'll just have a list here. So we'll be arranging over the categories where the index will be the category name, and then we'll have the category info. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, just a reminder, you can actually join and have a really weird delay by listening to me on Discord and then seeing it on stream, so. But let me know if the quality is shit or something, and I could maybe tweak some knobs or whatever, but in all likelihood, if the quality isn't all that good, it might be on your end. Or YouTube being stupid, which I wouldn't rule that out. So if you go back to our mockup, what we have here is an image. So actually all of this is a link. So I say the OBS settings are as good as they can be on Josh's side. Woohoo! Well, 1080p 60 FPS is really freaking smooth for me. Good. I mean, I'm not doing anything intensive on the CPU in terms of coding, so I don't see why it would be an issue for me to do 1080p at 60 FPS. But it's like whenever I could get away with doing 1080p at 60 FPS, I'm going to do it, because at this moment in time, I don't have a streaming server. So, right, anyways. So we're going to have an image. We're going to have that text, which will probably be H1 and then H2, right? Let's see, who's pinging me on IRC? What do I do for work? I do nothing, but I am available for hire if you're interested. So long as it doesn't require me relocating, of course. So what we're going to do is base URL and then images. And that's basically going to be our static images. And then we're going to do Help Center, probably. Okay, thanks, Gnome Shell. What the fuck was that all about? It's like, hey, you don't need that window anymore. Okay. Oh, something else. Another reason why I'm testing them. If I could actually get to it. Oh, there we go. Okay, it actually doesn't seem to be glitching out. Something else I want to test is OBS being retarded when it comes to like the whole flickering issue you may have noticed when I'm under Budgie. Because I'm not sure if it's a Budgie WM issue, although that relies on Mutter, or if it's just some weird crazy shit that's going on. I suppose when 10.3 comes out, when we're going to be switching to Compiz, of course until Budgie 11. Fuck, I lost my train of thought because I looked at IRC. That's my problem. Right. I don't know if it's, so with Compiz in 10.3, I might actually be able to test then and see if it's maybe some other issue, if it was really Budgie WM, in which case, in Budgie 11, would be have our own compositor based on, I believe, Q compositor. It won't be an issue, and I believe, at least according to conversations that have been had in Budgie Desktop Dev, the plan would be have the fallback for X11 stuff actually be Compiz, so people still get all the niceties that brings, while anyone with more modern hardware that supports Wayland, such as those running the NVIDIA GLX driver series, so maybe a newer graphics card, I'm not sure about on the AMD side, they will actually be able to have all the niceties of the Wayland support and such. So haven't noticed any flickering at all. Cool. Anyways, I'm getting completely derailed as usual because it's like fucking squirrels here and there. Too many goddamn windows open. So images help center. And then we're gonna probably have categories and then the category name.png. Now, fair warning, these images don't exist yet. I haven't exported them from Inkscape yet. So, and actually they probably, come to think of it, I'm probably doing something really stupid here. Rather than using the font stuff, because that's probably what I'm actually going to use, so I could get all the different colorings. So let's just leave that there as a placeholder, and I'll get back to it. There, now I won't forget. Then we're going to have H1. And that's actually going to be category info.name, if that's not confusing enough. Did you see? I did not click anywhere for MPV. Oh my God. I'm starting to regret using frickin' GNOME Shell for this. Category info dot, what is it, description? Yeah, okay. What languages work in VS Code? All the ones I've used. I mean, you got to be careful with, I suppose if you use spaces, then it's never going to be an issue. But of course, I am a horrible individual and I like tabs. Not smart tabs, but just tabs. So as a result, it gets a bit funky for me because it doesn't do the YAML stuff as spaces. It wants to always input as tabs. Anyway, so If I actually go to preferences here, it's actually configurable. Oh, where is it? I think it's actually editor. Yeah, insert spaces I have set to false. And I actually have detect indentation set to false as well. I could probably change that to true and it probably wouldn't be stupid. But in terms of language support, out of the box, I don't even know how many languages it supports, but it's a metric shit ton. And then of course you could get a broader amount of language support and parsers and all that through the extensions. So, I mean, think of it as like Atom, but lighter. Okay, so we have the Help Center categories. Now what we need to do is we need to go into page. We're going to pass it a dictionary. The dictionary, we're going to have cite. No, I lied. What are we doing? What the hell are you doing, Josh? Okay, no. That was fine. Just doing the dirt pitch. And we're going to pass categories. And that'll be .data dot .popular probably. Let's run a make local and see. Okay, it's actually not spitting out errors. I am suspicious. So if we go back, I knew it. You fucking liars. Where is it? Okay, yeah, because it's not doing any of the recursion. That's probably why it works, because it's not actually doing the Okay, let's see. Maybe we should print out the categories. Okay, I'm just, without switching, I'm looking at the dev stuff and it's saying hash nil, so it's not actually getting anything. So .data.helpcenter.popular isn't a thing. Okay. So what is, let's go ahead and look at the download. Because I'm using, okay, it's, here we go. So it's using the cite variable here. That's why. Okay, so actually, this makes it even easier because we don't need to have a separate category thing at all. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pass cite. And then we're going to go over to that should probably work. But no, actually I will need to do this. So is that gonna work? It's saying, okay, it's definitely working. And I know that because on my other screen, I had a bunch of get calls that were failing, which makes sense given those images don't exist and will never exist because they will be in the fonts, but they're just placeholders there. So let's see. You could always stream on Twitch instead of YouTube if you want to. It's not only for gaming content anymore. So I know that. I just don't want to deal with the crap about having highlights and whatnot going over to my YouTube channel. That's really it mainly. So kind of YouTube's where I'm at. Let's see. So we're not actually passing the name here. I mean, that isn't to say I don't like Twitch, because I actually really love Twitch. Oh, it's title. It's not name. And really, I could get away. Actually, I can remove that. God, I'm not sure because. Okay, I know what I need to do. So. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have category URL because we need to parse those underscores and replace them with hyphens. Okay, so we need to change this here to category URL. And if we go here, we see no. Is it not gonna? Oh, so I was doing copy link address. Because I'm a dumbass. No, it's actually not working. Well, okay then. What am I doing wrong here? Incomplete template. So functions. Which I actually had that in my autocomplete, but whatever. Strings. Okay. What the fuck? What am I doing wrong? It's probably something really obvious. Equals replace category name right here, underscore, the hyphen, and then that. Actually, we should do it here too. And it should do it for common tasks. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Go ahead and cancel that. Run again. Because sometimes it gets a bit confusing with the rebuilding site thing if there's still an error or not. Which there, according to this, there isn't. I don't actually believe it. So we go to common tasks. Oh yeah, you see it was working. It just wasn't updating for whatever reason. So I forgot I don't actually need to add the trailing slash here. I always forget that though, to be fair. Because it adds it to the end of base URL for whatever reason. So that actually works. We could click them and you see nothingness here. Just fine. Now, what we need to do is probably implement a short code. And the reason for that is if we go to content and then articles, and then we go to categories here, you see we don't have any content, which is why if we go here to categories, well, actually that fucks up. What? Oh, I see why. Okay. Okay, so that needs to be moved out. But I believe the reason why I changed it to begin with is because we couldn't use like Help Center as the folder name as well. So I'm not entirely sure yet how I'm going to solve that. But I think for now, we'll just pretend that's not an issue. And we'll implement the short code because I don't want that blocking. So what we're going to do is short code. Although we have these articles thing here. Just want to test something. Okay, so it's treating this as articles, the articles template thing. Here, so it's just using content in this blog thing, in the blog content Solbit container. So right, because I don't really want to add a, I'm gonna have to add a shortcode to every single one of these. It'd be a really fucking pain in the ass. Because these are all categories, really. Fuck. Why is it such a pain in the ass? Okay, we're just gonna implement the shortcode. This could be a category shortcode. And then we don't actually need, so what I'm gonna do is just use partial. And it's gonna be think. It's saying undefined variable site. Really? Is it really gonna fucking complain about that? Okay, so I think the way around this actually is going to have to be, well, no, because we can't pass site itself. How am I doing on these others? Not. It's not very helpful, is it? Oh wait, no, I am here. Just widget view shortcode. Where am I using that? Okay, so every shortcut already has the site variable anyways, apparently. See, unexpected. Unexpected, what are you bitching about? Oh, the double quote. Okay. So basically the Help Center categories thing here is just going to is it that? I don't actually remember. No. Okay. All right, so we have all the categories being listed here. It's not ideal how we're implementing this, but it'll work for now. Now moving on, go here. You see it just has test for like this articles budgie thing. So what we need now is a short code, probably, maybe, that'll actually have a, let's see, probably a short code that ties into a partial. It's probably the cleaner way of doing it. There's a bit more abstraction, but I kind of like it that way, to be honest. It's just having all the logic here. So what we're going to do is have a articles partial, and let me go over to no, wrong thing. Category view. And you see it's just a simple listing where we have the I think it's a Solbit component. Let me double check. Is it MISC? Miscellaneous? No. It's not there. Because I know we have it implemented in oh wait, hold on. No, that's not it. Let's be even. I'd be very surprised if this isn't implemented. Check budgie site styling. Because it's going to be on the Git page if it's there. So we have a list. None of it is Solbit though. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm searching for the styling for the alternating rows. So I don't know where the fuck it went. I would have thought it would have been list, but actually what I'll do is background color. It's not going to be button, it's not going to be core, footer, header. No, not that. Not icons. Oh, it's list dot. Okay, I am a dumbass. So, this actually doesn't really make much sense being a budgie thing, or a budgie site thing. So what I'll probably do is have that as a Solbit bit. But for now, what I'll do is implement it. Because I'm going to tackle all the styling like in one go, so there isn't too much context switching. So we're going to have a Solbit list. Right, and then what we're going to do is have list item. Now for here, we're not going to actually be passing any data. We're going to be reading a directory, right? So I've actually never done that in Hugo. I know they have a reader func somewhere. Might actually be extra. Traversing local files. So reader func returns an array os.fileinfo. Okay, so it's just going to be the same as the actual GoLink file info then. Cool. So if we open that up, you'll see the attributes. So it'll have name. It's actually a path already. Get path URL. But it doesn't actually specify it there. I'm guessing some of these are internal to oh, I see what it's doing. Right. So range files, so I presume the index would actually be the name of the file. Maybe. So let's go ahead and try this. Let's break that up, move that over there. What is it? I'm looking at reader just takes the path. So is it an absolute path or a relative path? Whether the path is absolute or relative makes no difference. Okay. So does Hugo expose a... Let's move that back over. Does it expose somewhere in like the config or something? See Hugo variables? The file variable. What? Oh, okay. So if it's like an en.html, then it would provide that info. It's not really what I'm looking for, though. I'm kind of looking for the base dir. So I actually have to do. I'm going all the way back. Let's see. Well, how does it do it? Or at least reader. All right, you know what? I'm just going to piss around with this until it actually works. So let's go ahead and do content articles. Oh, wait, no, we need to intermix this. And then category, right? So, see, look. So what I'm hoping for is it will return os.fileinfo, and the way that's set up in Go is that can mean it's a directory. So what we'll get is a list of directories, and then we can just do directory name /en as an example. And eventually it'll be multilingual, so it'll take into account that, but that isn't what we're focusing on today. And that will be provided with this stuff, all this crap. So let's take a look at our YouTube thing. So it's going to be index param 0. That makes sense. So basically, we intermix the whatever we're passing. So we're going to be passing the actual category name. So in this context, say it was the budgie page, right? So you'd use a short code, which would then, shit, we're doing this as, actually I can make this easier on myself. So as a short code, we would have an article list short code, and that would call this partial, the Help Center articles partial, with the category set to the name we pass, like budgie, right? So then you would read the contents of content articles budgie and get a list for us, and then what we'll do is we'll range over that and then create a list. It'd be easier if I just showed you. And we'll have browsing the web. So let's just focus on the actual title of it first, maybe. Shit, because that's going to be the actual title here. Tricky. Well, first let's just deal with content and see what it spits out. So I think it's read files. Okay, I know it's read file. It doesn't say it here, but I know it's read file. Now for now, I just want to spit out file rather than like a link and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and go over to terminal here. And then short codes. Now I think we're presuming, no, we're not at all. Okay. Okay, so I'm hoping that'll work. So we go up here. Maybe. Okay, so articles.html is incomplete. How helpful. It's doing this bullshit again. If anyone's ever watched my previous streams, that like unhelpful error has been my enemy for the longest time. So what is the issue? Is it gonna fucking tell me? Is it this bit? Because it's not telling me. It's not even giving me the line. Unbelievable. If I just nuke that, okay, so it's not that. Well, I'm sorry, it is a range. It's not the dirt stuff. It's that. Could be that. Is it this? I don't know. Read file. Well, what if it is actually read file? What if I'm using read file wrong? No, that's not what I want. I know there's a read file function. Aha. Okay, so it's there. I was doing it correctly, in theory. It's doing content articles, and then the name. Is that? Okay. It's this read file bit. So let's go ahead and printf. I can never remember if it's hash percentage value, which it should be, or it's the other way around. Okay. Now if we go to budgie. All right, well, actually we didn't need that. So the fuck? Oh, it's okay. So let's try that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So it's actually an issue with this because we were using article, which is actually the index, which makes sense given that's how it is in Go. If we do that, it's incomplete. La la la. A liar. It's an issue with this read file call. Okay, well, it just dropped that. Thanks, I guess. So it's going to be content, articles, category. Ah, that's why. So actually what we need to do is change Okay, that should work. It does, and that looks awful. But I think there's a parsing function that I could actually call within. Maybe there's. So the idea, this looks awful, of course, is to have the actual page title and then the first line. So, but I don't want to have to do that within every single like Help Center doc file and have like a summary thing there. So I kind of just want to parse the first line. But first I want to see if there's a parsing function. So I can manually parse the at least there isn't one here. It's this builder's bit. No, it's not helpful at all. That's not going to be it. I want to parse the markdown to HTML. Google to the rescue, maybe? I mean, Go itself supplies. What's this? No, I saw it at the top. Go itself supplies built-in functions, including. See, these are listed in the. Oh, that's where it's getting it from. Does Go template primer have it? I can't imagine it does. No, I don't think it does. God damn it, there must be a function for it. Strings, maybe? Ah, markdownify. Runs the string through the markdown processor. All right, let's see now. Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. I mean, we're really only going to need that for the first line, but it's nice that it's there. Okay, so I could do a split by delimiter. So I could probably do it by new line. I want to think that's going to be an option, so let's see. So if we do Yes, I know it's being fixed to EN. I get that. Not everyone has English as their primary language, but multilingual support isn't in yet, and trust me, it will eventually. I just kind of want to get these major items out first. So I don't actually need content there. I'm not sure what element to use on this. I mean, eventually it's all going to have to be unified across the Solus website, the Budgie website, and this in terms of how the elements should be laid out and how the styling applies to each one, so we could have some variety. But right now it's not spitting out any errors, so I mean, it's not working. I'm wondering if I should do, I don't want to do markdownify, but I think it's safe to say this works, except for the whole it not fetching the second line. For some reason, I keep wanting to have it as links. Makes no sense. Okay, so that's weird. Okay, so I don't actually know how it's parsing this. Just adding more debug code here. Okay, so that's the entire thing. And then for each line, it's interesting. So we have budgie shortcuts, blank. New line. Yes, of course. I see. Right. So it's actually going to be 3. Because we have that new line there? Maybe. Actually, it's not going to be 3. It's going to be 2. Hey, there we go. That's progress. It is only showing that one, so maybe let's go to a category that has a metric shit ton, so software probably. Of course, that software isn't going to have anything because we haven't added the short code, but so here we have power line, and then that, and then third party, and then description, and then vagrant, virtual, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So for this, we're going to have to remove the header bit there, which is fine. So, because we're just going to be like splicing it, so. Probably 0. That's probably going to be 3, huh? No, 2. Because it could be the hash or pound. And that's going to be the white space. So that. It's a slice str. Okay. If we go here, hey, look at that. Oh yeah. Now if we go here, of course, it's going to say 404. Because, oh no. Actually, oh, okay, I see why. Right. Base URL category name en. It's interesting. Why is it doing that? Is it already doing the articles bit? I don't understand why it's doing that. Is it doing based on the article name? It is. Okay. Right. Okay. So it's going to do article name is the full path, right? So it's going to be, well, sorry, not full path. It's going to be a relative path. So it's going to be articles, software, and then the power line shell prompt, and then we add the en bit. Okay, I understand now. That's why they had in their example, if we go back to that, somewhere. That is why they had this path URL and they're doing the get path bits and all that. That makes much more sense now. Because then they're doing the name, which is a rel URL. Okay. It all makes sense. It's all come together. So actually, I'm going to leave that because that's just way more cleaner. Although, how is it even... I wonder if that's going to work. Now it's incomplete. Article, let's see. That? I mean, it was working before, but... fucking whatever. black magic to me, so. Oh, I just realized it's... Why is that like this? What did I do? So this is software. GNOME shell, Java. Oh, okay. We don't actually have a description there, that's why. If we go here, you see. Okay, that all makes sense. So really what I'm going to need to do is go through each of these articles and then make sure that the third line, technically speaking, is always like a description of it. So, because for a lot of these, it's already like that, but. I'm obviously not going to fix it here. If someone wants to do a PR to add a proper description there, that'd be fantastic, and then I could get that merged in and synced over while I'm doing this. Remember, it's Help Center docs on the Solus project GitHub, and it'll be under software, like software Java or something. So carrying on. Go here, we have the, right, so something else we want is this header here, the categories view. I think I might change all this. Because category view makes much more sense. Probably H1. And then we'll humanize the category. In all likelihood. And we need to go back to this. Just refresh to make sure. Okay, so we had this software bit here. Okay. That's fine for now. Okay, and this can be article view. So we do this, and wow, I didn't actually expect it to parse all that. Do I really get to move on to the less code already? I mean, I know there's a lot of configuration I need to do for the, well, actually, let's go ahead before I forget and add to every single fucking one of these, well, not every single one. The categories in Contact Us are going to be different, but If we go to categories, of course, it's going to be the invalid URL because it's articles. We have all that, which is all huge, of course. Click it, and then we have all that. To be honest, I really want to drop the fucking laptop compatibility and the wireless chipset compatibility. Obviously, we need to clean up that as well. But that could all be done in time. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to need to do in terms of styling is I need to look at how we are using the budgie list bits. And that's going to be on the Git page. And this is all fairly custom bits, actually. Because it has its own info and download, so actually this probably won't be a problem in terms of styling. So the only thing we really need to implement here is the list bits, probably. Or like gut this and move it to Solbit. So I might actually do that. I say might, I'm actually going to do that. So we're going to go less. That. That's not going to matter. I think the margin and all that is fine, actually. And have that as a, well, then we have duplicate shit here, so. Okay. So it's gonna be the list item. So let's go ahead and commit that. Yes, as preliminary. Christ. Now I'm fairly certain we have our own type of list for Solus site for something. Let's drill down to themes. Blog list, yeah. I thought so. And then it's going to be Solbit list item there. Actually, that's what we were working on. The fuck, bro? Oh, okay, so we're just doing this. Right. view primary as that, and then for each blog info, let's go ahead and look at that partial. We have a post info thing here. Okay. Let's look at the styling for that. Which actually I already have open. Somewhere here. And then it's going to be blog, probably. It's not really what I meant to do. I meant to do that. It's not applet list, which I mean that stuff's gonna get nuked anyways. They're specific? No, that's still all budgie stuff. Post info here. The fuck? Well, how are we doing the... We're doing alternating styling, right? Here? No, we're not. Okay. I suppose that'll probably stay the same then. So it's just going to be budgie and the help center that are going to be using it. Whatever. Okay. So I guess that makes my job a little bit easier. So going back to... Okay, so what we need to do is we need to open up site, and we need to look at the help center category view partial. And then what we need to do is have the budgie site open. And have this partial open, the get page partial. So all this is fairly custom stuff, right? But what we're going to have is the budgie component list and the budgie component list item changed to Solbit. So those will be that, and then under budgie site styling, we need to change these to the Solbit list items. Oh, I see. Okay. Actually, well, the only thing we need is this nth of type thing, because I didn't realize these two were actually different. So I had accidentally merged those two, because having the margins on the blog might, well, having the margins on the Git might not be the best idea, given that's a completely separate container. Nuke that entirely. Well, shit, because even on the blog, we're going to have that background. Why is this so much of a pain in the ass? I know what I'll do. Don't worry, guys, I got this. So we're going to have in Solbit, we'll have this data sol bit no list bg bit, and then now the reason why I'm not adding this here is we're going to be adding the list and section styling. So Christ, there's so many things open. Okay. And here list item. So on the get page it's going to be fine, but on the blog it isn't. So on blog list, which that actually needs to change this whole bit as well. We'll have the no list bg, and then on the home page we need to change as well. So have the no list bg bit there. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement that, well, commit that. And what we're going to do is we're going to have to open up and do session. Make sync for all those changes. Okay, all that seems normal, but let's do just a broader check for list item and list in the site styling. Okay. So get list item. That's no good. All right. Is there anywhere else? Here. Okay, that seems sane. This is all get, so let's check blog. All right. Is there anywhere else? I don't actually think so. And this here, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So the latest news, and then you may as well merge that list stuff in. Otherwise, we're just going to have an unnecessary file. Okay. So the reason why I'm doing this with testing with the budgie site is because I want to make sure the changes I'm doing in Solbit don't actually break it. So that's why I'm kind of going off from the Solus Help Center stuff to the budgie site, because it's kind of the easiest way of doing that testing. So so drop list.less, merge versus styling 2. We'll push that. I'm going to go back. Let's see here, I was doing that flat pack testing. Here, we're going to cancel that. So I think there's, I just want to do a check again. Just to be sure. So that actually looks fine. Cool. Let's sync those changes. They've been copied. Let's run that locally. Let's open it up. Okay, so here we have the budgie site. Don't worry about that. Now if we go to Git and then other OS, you see it's not broken, which is fantastic. So we could stop running that. We'll go ahead and git push this stuff now. And we'll push that. And now that we have confirmed that it works on the budgie stuff, and we know there won't be any conflicts, because, or at least let's just double check before I, okay, so we have this partial right. So we know that styling won't be an issue here when it comes to the list item. And the reason why we know that is because we're doing this blog info partial for the blog listing, and then we have our own different containers with styling for the Git stuff. So what we're going to do in Solbit here is we're going to have these header links styling. That's going to be our blue, probably. Let's see. Maybe navigation active link, or link actually would be better. Yeah, actually I don't need to do it. That's already applied. So let's go ahead and look at what is the font size here. The font size is 14. Close out of all that. I'm going to run make local here again. And all this is huge. Why is this so huge? It's because it's all a single. Oh my god, that's. Huh. It's not really going to work, is it? Because it needs to look like this. Oh wait, no, I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm a dumbass. Let's click through. Okay. Yep, I'm dumb. So first let's sync all the Solbit changes. They're not actually going to apply to, wow. Oh, source change, what? What do you mean source change? Should have changed. Okay. Where was I? That source change thing took me off track. Let's close out of all this stuff. I don't need budgie site open. Or the site, that site styling. Christ. Here's what I'm looking for. So we have Solbit and Solbit list item. And then, that's right. What we were going to do was check that, and that's 14. And this is 12. .40 amps too lower. It just doesn't look right, does it? We do 1.2 EM on that. That should be fine. Kind of want to double it. Yeah, that seems sane. Okay. We're gonna have some artificial padding probably. It's going to be section, and that's going to be too many windows. So the links are going to be larger. Now the question is, how are we going to implement padding? So I might need to reevaluate the Just go back to the budgie website. Here it's not really applicable, right? So that would be like a no padding, except technically for the bottom. But what I mean is no padding on the sides. Oh, this is actually, oh wait, no. Look at the wrong thing. Oh. Let's see. Uh-oh, someone getting in trouble in IRC. Apparently. Okay. Force refresh. So this is going to have only the padding on the bottom. Here, it's going to have padding all around the side. And the padding here is 25 pixels. Is that a lot? I don't know. Let's check. Does seem like quite a bit, actually. So I'm wondering if that actually shouldn't be a Solbit thing, the padding, but rather implemented in the site styling. So, right, let's go to terminal. Cancel running that. Make local on that again. Then go to Solus styling. So we're going to have a help center thing here. And I'm wondering in Solus styling for the help center stuff, well, actually here. I'm wondering how we should implement this. Because I don't know where, let's see. Where else are we using? Only the category view is where we're using that list. But I'm not sure I want to assume that. Although I think it would be sane to have like a 15 pixel padding along the sides of every list on the Solus site. It seems like a sane amount of padding. So actually we'll delete that for now. Maybe just throw it in core. That's all Solbit overrides. We'll try 15 pixels. So terminal. Move that over. Git push. Make sync. Clear that out. Now if we go to categories, and then this, you see here, we have that. Well, that seems like it's not actually applying the link there, or like the link styling. We committed that, right? Maybe not actually. No, we didn't. So we'll push that. And then what we need to do is sync that, remake that, we'll sync the styling changes, which also does this whole bit stuff. Now we have that. Now I imagine what we'll do is we'll have like a, I'm not sure how far down, probably like a help center content type or something. Because I want to have this centered. But I think the first thing we're going to do is deal with this banner. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we got some of the list stuff out of the way. Close that. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And this is what it does look like. Now what we're probably going to have to do is drop the container bit and have this as a horizontal align call, because we have that sort of mix in. So preferably not pull out my headphones from my Blue Yeti. So soul styling, maybe. here. Okay, so let's drop the from Help Center banner, the centered stuff. And probably from, don't actually know. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is have the Help Center banner styling, the welcome section, and then the welcome nav. So the way that's going to work is we're going to have the entire Help Center banner have this blue, and then we're going to have the nav have this darker blue. So and ideally, we're going to have the minimum height set to 280 pixels. So if we jump over here, now's the time for the Help Center styling. And we're going to have the scaling code first, or actually the directional specific. Then we'll have the Help Center banner. Let's move that bit over here. Have blue is the same as the Solbit link. No, I think we need the Solbit. I think we declare the Solus blue in here. We do. So we're going to have the background be the Solus blue. And have that as the full width. Then under that, we're going to have the welcome bit. And that, what should be the max size of that? 500, but that needs to be implemented in scaling code. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure all the sort of non-mobile styling is out of the way, and then we'll focus on mobile. And I believe it's horizontal align 500 pixels. That should be anyways. And then H2, well, H1 and H2, so the Help Center text and the get answers to common questions, those both should be centered. So they're both going to have full width. They're both going to have text align. Neither of them are going to have the font weight set to bold. So that's set to normal. So that's 28 is probably, I don't know, let's apply this stuff first. Make sure all that's sorted before we start fiddling around with the font size. And then we're going to have the input. And that will be 40 pixel height, which I think makes sense across both mobile and desktop, and it'll be full width. Because on mobile, what we'll do is we'll make sure there's some padding or something. So what we'll probably have is this take up like 80% of a mobile user's horizontal space, with 10% on each side, and then that way there's enough padding. So full width. Line height as well. I'm gonna have a text indent. 10 pixel maybe? It might be 20 pixels or something. I don't believe, okay. What the fuck am I doing here? Okay, so it's our gray, I believe. If we look at, it's not actually declared there, but it's probably declared in our core as gray, yeah. And then we'll have the background be marble. Because I think it's set in Solbit. White. Is it not set here? No. What the fuck? Please don't tell me we only set it in, let's just double check here before I open my mouth more. No, it must be only in the budget one. Okay. That's, weird. Let's open it up, I guess. Yeah, here. I wonder why these. So we'll go to solo styling. We'll just add a marble there. There. Okay, and then it's gonna have a border radius of probably 10 or 5. It's 5. Okay. The navigation, this is actually going to take up the entire thing as well. And on the desktop, it's going to be 80 pixel. Now, what I'll probably do is move the scaling code out. And then what we'll have is the banner nav. That on here will take up 80 pixels. And because the entire thing is 280, it's safe to set this at a fixed 200. Right. And that'll be a darker blue. Check what our options are in Solbit. I'm not sure if navigation active link is going to be too dark, but we'll see. Or is it just a link? We'll try just a link instead, actually. Although they're the same. And then the contract, well, the section links. Will be white. Not like white, but FA hex code. And this will be the actual links container. And I'll set that to 300. With horizontal line set to 300, and this will be on non-mobile. Actually, and regardless, each one is going to take up 50% width. So I think this is enough styling for now to commit. Curious what we should do. We don't need Help Center docs open. Make that unit. First argument must be a number for horizontal line. All right, let's go ahead and check. Oh, I know how I implemented it, I remember. It should be. If I go to mixins. We're actually doing this based on the margin here. I don't like that. Why did I change it this way? Because if it's like, I have it set to, so if you were to pass, okay, I want a 10 pixel margin, it would calculate the width. I might need some water. Maybe have a horizontal line container thing. Purely for pixels. And then what we'll do is 50% minus half the width. I'm wondering. No, I suppose I probably don't need. Set that. And then have it and not assume pixels. So basically what we're doing here is we're creating a unit where that unit is equal to, and then what we do is we fetch the unit value. So if it's like 300 pixels, this would be 300 divided by 2, so that'd be like 150, and then get the unit. So if it was 300 pixels, that'd be pixels, and then we set it there. And then we would do margin hyphen left. %? Actually, it might need to be the same as this. So if we pass, say it's 60%, so we want 20% on each side. That means we need margin half is the 100% minus the width of the container divided by 2. So it's going to be unit where 100% minus the unit divided by 2 percentage. Like that. Do it as get unit, so that way VS Code isn't bitching at me and claiming that me adding percentage sign there is going to be an error, because it's not going to be. And then we'll do margin left as margin half. And that as margin half. And then here, we'll have calculate 50%. Right, so let's go back to this. Context switch back to this. So 300. Right, so it's going to be half width, yeah. Okay, it all makes sense now. Right, so now we have the horizontal aligned container, so let's go ahead and commit that to Solbit. What is it going to be? And we don't need to rebuild the CSS for this. Just double check, so that's is percentage and that's is pixel. But I am going to rebuild it just to check that there's no errors. Cool. Now what we'll do is we'll go back to this, no, wrong one, this, and then we'll change these to horizontal align container. And then we'll sync this. We'll make. See, error evaluating function unit. The first argument to unit must be a number. Have you forgotten the parentheses? No. No, I haven't forgotten the parentheses at all. Do I need to put in quotes? Is that what I'm forgetting? Sorry I keep bouncing around like this. I could actually wipe that out, and then I'll try wrapping it in quotes. Okay, that built. Cool. Right. Push that. Make sync. Make local. Okay. Refresh and oh my god, that's awful. Clearly the horizontal aligned stuff does not work at all. What was the issue? Outside of it not working. It just not working. Okay. Well, fuck. Min width. Is the nav not doing it either? No. It's actually setting width as... Wait, it's this section. No. The scaling code, huh? So we do help center. Banner. Then welcome. Is it setting the... It's setting the height. Just isn't doing the horizontal line container bit. So, what the fuck? Because it's also setting the nav bit here, which is actually way too dark. Let's go ahead and set that to a fixed hex. So why is that not working? Is it an issue with what I'm passing? So when it's pixel, it sets the width, which it's not doing actually, now that I think about it. Like it's not even setting it to the quotes bit. And then it's doing... What the fuck? It should at least be setting the width, right? but it's not. Oh, fucking hell, what? No, okay, it's just that. I mean, nothing changed. So it's either got to be a Solus styling issue or it's got to be a Solbit issue. Is it not considering it? Okay, so what we're going to do is just push that. Make sync. Okay, what am I doing on the budgie site? Styling. I'm just passing the actual value as the percentage thing here. But for some reason, it's not taking. First argument must be number. Error evaluating function unit. First argument, but it is a number. It is. It's a. If I pass, let's see. What about that? It looks crazy. Yeah, no, that doesn't work either. Okay. So it's going to be Help Center 17, column 4, which is this. So it's clearly an issue with the mix-in. And we're using the pixel bit. It's going to be here. I just want to test. I mean, it should scream at me regardless because we're just doing an import. Fuck, I don't know what to do. Let's look at the docs. Function reference. Get string. It could be math, isn't it? Let's look at this. So that isn't going to be the issue. It's going to be the unit bit. Right? And get unit should return the pixel or the percentage, right? So I wonder if this is why I was mixing in. It's got to be this unit bit here. So if we're passing, say, 500 pixels, this would be 500 because we're not passing pixels. And we're dividing it by 2. We're doing get unit of the width. Can I just set that to pixel? And that to percentage. But this is bitching at me. I don't like that. Should change that one back, I guess. I guess I won't find out if that one's broken too yet, because I haven't used the horizontal line container bit yet. Which I will. I will use that on the mobile version, so I'll be able to tell if it's broken then. I'm going to guess it's this. I want to hope it's this. So we'll make sync that. No, god damn it. The first argument must be a number. It fucking is. Well, it's a unit. You told me to pass a unit. And that's what it is. What more do you want? What the fuck? Come on, Les, why are you such a piece of shit? I'm passing a fucking unit. I passed 300 pixels. Look. Look, right here, example. 5 EMs there, and then just returns that like it's supposed to. If we're doing this, and this is 500 pixels, and it says when is pixel, so that would be fine, because it's a pixel, because we're passing that as the value. Will we do half width? Let's see. Let's take this. We're going to experiment with this bit in this Solus styling thing. Just drop it in core. Okay. If we do make. Okay. If we go to core, and we drop that, and we run a make, it compiles. So it's that stupid freaking. Okay. I wonder if it's really gonna bitch at me because I didn't have that in parentheses. I guess we'll find out. You fucking kidding me? It won't just accept the first thing as like some sort of cool math thing. I have to put in parentheses. Otherwise it's gonna accept it as like some exact string. I hate web development. Okay. That's incredible. I have no fucking words to describe that. Which means it's also going to be a problem up here. Lissi. Okay. So let's drop the test bit. Okay, now it compiles, of course. Sync that up. Okay. Now if we go back and refresh, it doesn't do anything. I am sad. I am very sad. Okay. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Because I know I fixed it. So what the hell? Let's just look at the DOM again. So we have Help Center banner. Actually, let's look at the developer tools on this one. Help Center banner. Then we have this mobile, non-mobile. I already know this is correct. I've done this 5 million times. We have this Help Center banner, welcome. It takes to 200 here. We have this. I don't know. I will be right back when I get some water. And I'm back. Okay. So it's gotta be the soul bit stuff, right? It's the only thing I could think of. Although it's not even doing the width. I is very confused. Well, you know what this calls for? More testing. Oh, I do see glitching in OBS. Aha. What one is it? Which one's the culprit? Is it this? I don't fucking know. Okay, so it's a mutter thing? Because it's happening under Gnome Shell too? Or maybe it's just an OBS thing? I guess I should try under Marco at some point with Mate. Anyways, going back, so we had this test. Wait a second. What is this? What is this devilry? Could this be the answer to all my questions? Oh my god, that might actually be the issue there. Let's test. So that's height render pixel. It's not height, it's width. Hey, look, I could see it. It's right here. Okay, that was the issue. I knew it. Okay, so drop that from Christ, I didn't think adding this fucking function would be as much of a pain in the ass as it has. There. Is it interpolation? Yeah. sync that. Go back here. Refresh. No! I fixed it, you son of a bitch. I know I fixed it. Don't do this to me. Let's look. Okay. Margin left. See, Help Center banner. Help Center banner nav. Section width, 300 pixels. Probably doing something really stupid. Just not realize. No, okay. It actually wasn't me that time. It was just Hugo being a dumbass. Oof. Started getting worried there for a sec. Okay, so I need to fix the border needs to not exist. That. There clearly needs to be a line height of 80 pixels. Right, like that. Flex. There we go. Text align center for now. These all need to be white. So that is what it would look like. Flex. Flex direction column. Okay, so that way it's flush all the way to the edge. And then in terms of spacing, one EM0 is actually fine. Maybe? Yeah, actually that looks pretty good. All things considered. So let's go ahead and implement that. So what we need to do is set both of these headers to have that 1 EM top bottom. No border for the input. The banner itself should be a flex box with the flex direction set to column. Okay. For nav, we're going to have line height. Our section just reflex. And we'll center align our text. Actually, I'll need to git commit amend this because I forgot the text color. Okay. Cancel that for fuck all reason. There we go. Cool. Starting to get progress. Okay. And the coloring for that is all fine. Now, of course, here's where it's a bit funky. But for that, it's going to involve I'm actually thinking these might be icons. I know I said they would probably be fonts, but I'm not entirely sure how I feel about, for instance, the budgie icon being an actual font item. Not really sure that would actually work well. So these will all probably be manually exported. And then obviously the appropriate credits. And then for these will probably be font items. And then I'll use the data sol bit icon bit. But let's open up category, or all of them anyways. I don't actually have one for software, but whatever. So all this will be added in due time. But for now, let us get sorted on the actual items. So let's go to, where is it? close the Help Center docs. I'm not going to be needing that. Where the fuck did Solus site go? It's over here. Okay. I'm going to have a category view. No categories. So it's be Help Center categories. I'm not going to worry yet about setting the margins for this. I'm just going to make sure I get the Flexbox bits sorted for it. Because I don't think I implemented a grid system yet in here. No, I did not. Otherwise, I'd have it as like grid.less, because that would make sense. Welcome back, Luke. What have I gotten done in the time you've been gone? Well, let's take a look. So since you've been gone, I've gotten this styling done. This actually, so I refactored the, I don't know when you left in context to like what I was working on at the time, but I ported over, I refactored some of the budgie site code back into Solbit, like this list styling. So all the articles in the categories actually have a list, and it's a bit, let me find maybe software. So if we go to software, there's a better example here, and obviously this needs to be fixed, so ignore that, please. But as you can see, you have the alternating rows here. So you'd have similar to the Git page. So all that styling is done, well, except for this being centered and yada, yada, yada. So basically, this is going to be sorted out now. So I'm going to start working on the styling for that, and it's going to look something like this, ideally. So yeah, so it's going to be, let's move that over here. Jump over here. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to use Flexbox on this. I think I'm going to use inline block. Or inline block for the items. Fuck, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Then within that, we're going to have the category item, which is actually going to be a link. Actually, I'm just going to change that to category. There's a weird graphical glitch in the middle of the video. Yeah, it's Mutter and OBS being stupid. I can't fix it. Yeah, just get used to it. I can't do anything about it. Yeah, no, I can't do anything about that. Change that. Now, this is going to need to be scalable code. So actually, it would be wise to have that as or probably inline flex. Seems to be gone now. Yeah, again, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just, it comes and goes. Scaling. So actually, we'll focus on the non-mobile. And then we'll set the, I mean, I imagine the height's actually going to be the same. I'm not sure yet though. So we'll just set it in the non-mobile view for now. So it's going to be 150 pixels by 300. We'll have the image. And I already know the image is going to take 60 pixels in height. I'm wondering though if I could do the margin left, right, auto stuff and have it take up the entire thing. Guess we'll find out. Although we might, if I set that to flex, and have that set to column. So hopefully that will horizontally align it. And then we have header 1 and header 2. I really like using headers for some reason. So we're using text, I think. Or do we have it specified as gray? It's really entertaining and instructive. Thanks for stream. Yeah, no problem. I don't personally find it to be entertaining. I would never actually watch someone do a coding stream. Like, to be completely honest, I don't watch back our Hackfest, but because obviously I was there, so why would I need to? But I appreciate the compliment nonetheless. I'm glad you enjoyed. So gray probably is the best bet here. I'm not sure. Fucking hell. Who jumped in? Dude, mute your mic. Let's see. Server mute. Fucking hell. Server muted that person. That startled me. That woke me right the fuck up. Christ. Yeah, ping me in chat when you actually have your mic sorted. Fucking hell. My ears got raped there. Okay, so gray. That'll be here. Yeah, Luke, it was someone jumping into. That's why you don't usually see this. And what the fuck, lol. Yeah, Luke, it's because that EQ lucky guy jumped in and their mic was hot. They don't have left like push to talk set, so I had to do a server mute of them real quick. Well, first what I did was I did a mute of my audio so I could quickly fix it, and then, anyways. So I'm gonna guess this is gonna be like 0.9 EM, and this is gonna be 1. Change that to 0.9 EM. Background is going to be marble. The gray background. So this has got to be text then. If this is going to be the gray background, I think. Let's go to Solbit. Variable. Do I have it set there? No, I do not. Please tell me I have it set in core. I do not. Okay. Talk about a pain in the ass. Budgie size styling. I have it set there. Maybe. It would help if I was looking at the right thing. I have all these common colors set here. So I think I'll just have a border variable in Solus styling. Okay. And these all need to be text aligned. So that is going to be a max height of 150. It means we have 90. So we'll just set this to 2 EM as a line height. And build and commit all that. Yeah, it makes it a bit easier to differ between the different categories, and the entire category box is actually clickable, at least for now. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to remain the same because it might cause unintentional navigation um, on mobile. So I might actually change it so the inner content of the box, so the image, the header, and well, the header stuff, those are clickable. We'll see. Okay, so that's progress. I'm thinking, let's see, let's go back to, where is it? Solus site, blah. Because in article single, we have this content, and then this view container, and then view centered. So might be worth adding that to the Help Center page stuff. Or maybe the categories partial. Let's check. So within main, we have, okay, so this is just the home page. But if we click on through to here, it has the list. Okay. So it's just the actual Help Center page bit that we need to worry about. Okay, that's some progress. I think the issue here is we're using inline flex. So if we drop, let's move this here. If we drop the flex box from categories and set each of these category items to inline flex, then that'll work. And then we set the padding no margin. Probably 15. It'll look like that. Just looks a bit strange. So I'm wondering if our categories view, we should enforce maybe 300 and so 330 actually. If we do 1,000, still doesn't seem like enough. Oh, it's because we're doing, okay. I see what. Okay, and then so let's open up the calculator. 1,020. So if we do the horizontal align on like the horizontal align container call on the categories, what that'll mean is it'll automatically calculate the margins we need as well. Let's go ahead and do this before we get too into the weeds here. So categories, we're going to drop the inline flex. And we're going to use the horizontal align container. So that'll make sure the categories, the three item categories view or list is centered. We're going to change the category thing itself is to display inline flex. And yeah, Luke, I am a CSS dude too, but I am sure you will learn something here. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be doing CSS stuff, you should use Sass or less like I am, because you get a bunch of extra features like variables and nesting and mix-ins and all that cool stuff. And plus all the various functions like the unit bits that you've seen, so when it isn't being fucking retarded, of course. So we're going to have a margin of 15 on the category items as well. And let's go ahead and build all this. I mean, I already know off the bat I'm putting this horizontal align container bit in the wrong place, so let's actually cancel this commit and move it to the right place. Which is going to be the scaling code. Sync that up. Make local again. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Look at that. I mean, obviously it looks a bit shit because we don't have the icons there, but it's progress. And I like progress. The line height for these is absolutely excessive. Hell, 1.5 is excessive. Oh, you know what? It's because it's probably applying the margins too. Because I forgot to remove them from those headers. Okay. Let's go ahead and fix that. And then for the images, we're going to want some margin on it, which is nice to see it'll actually be centered properly, so that's cool. I think 15 pixels is actually reasonable. Yep, that looks good actually. Nailed that on the first attempt, cool. Well, technically it was the second because I put like 20 on the first one, but no one needs to know that. Do the usual, make local. All right, so all that applies. Now, let's test. I just changed it to mobile. Looks fucking horrible. So it's 1024, which is actually our minimum before we switch to mobile. It actually looks fine with the 3 grid system, so. And it actually looks fine there too. And there. That's all actually really surprising. Obviously there's work to do on mobile. I need to add the images, which I suppose I could actually do now, or at least some of them. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's drop this out of the device stuff. Let's do it with the category. This is going to be pudgy. I mean, really, I could just copy paste that, because we already have that asset. Where is it? Static. It's not pose. This has got to be in themes. Yep, budgie.png. Okay, that's our small version. It's 100 pixel. Okay, I mean, that'll work for me, I guess. So, under static images, where are we putting this again? Help Center, I believe. Let's check. So it's going to be Help Center categories. And categories. What do we have in icon? Okay, just applets. Rename that to budgie. We have common tasks. None of these. There we go. And this is going to be a configuration. Contributing. Gaming. Installing. Is this packaging or package? Okay, it's package management. I'm not not so sure about software being the same, so I'll have to look into that one later. Because like package management and software, like both of those make sense in terms of the icons, like them both being the same, but at the same time, you don't want them being the same. So with all that, okay, it's synced it all. Now if we go over to here, oh, look, we have icons and it looks good. I mean, we don't have icons here, but ignore that. We have icons and it looks good. Right. Now I don't think our categories view, which I need to change that to articles. Oh, wow, that does actually work. So software, just export that for now. And here we go. So that is what the category section will look like. And then you would drill into, say, contributing. And obviously, we need to do the styling here. So you'd have like the community guidelines and getting involved. So if you click getting involved, it has this, which uses the same styling as the blog. So all that is sort of a uniform. Actually, before I let's go ahead and add help to the nav. So oh, did I break something? I don't think I did actually. It's gonna be config.yaml. And I think it would make sense probably after support us. And we need to change the weight of all these. Okay. And here we go. Help. Click that. And it goes to the Help Center. Nice. Right. I think I'm going to call it for now. Reason being is I am starving. So the game plan is after the stream and after I eat, of course, I'm going to get the icons sorted for this, which means I need to change some stuff in Solbit and sync that over to Budgie and yada yada yada. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, so that'll get sorted. I'm gonna tinker with the Help Center categories and such. So that'll be a thing, hopefully. That'll all get fixed, because ideally I would want it to be Help Center categories and Help Center contact. So yeah, I'll get that all sorted, but thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye, 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 bye.